All right, guys, just so that you see that, we're using a step bit here. And are you sure about that?
Yeah.
The plates holes are different size, or show it's the other way around.
No.
It does though.
We'll go and look. Pieces of this car before we get yelled at by my boss.
What are we doing, Jay?
What are we doing today on Driven Daily Garage? Somehow, I got roped into putting a roll cage in my boss's car. This is a 2019 GT Mustang performance pack car. It has less than 1,000 miles on it. And my boss is super particular. So we're gonna see on video how much we messed this up.
You mean by we, you mean, and mess up, you mean by do you get fired?
No, I already made it clear that I'm not responsible job-wise if this f***s up. What up, guys? We are about an hour in, and when Robert turns to his right, you will see a pile of crap we have removed from the Mustang. We are now to the point where we are going to unbox the actual main hoop, put it in the car, start making some marks where we're going to drill, and see how long it takes us from here. It is 5:30 now, so we'll see how long it takes us. What up, guys? We had to go run and grab this, so it is now 5:50. Just unboxed the main hoop.
All the bars.
Yeah, all the bars.
And
This is a Waston Racing 4-point harness, by the way, for anyone who wants to look it up. We'll put the link somewhere for it. We're gonna get this main harness bar bolted in up front, take some measurements, and then go have some supper and finish this up tomorrow.
all right, guys. So while Joey's finishing that up real quick, just so that you guys know, because nothing really shows you this very well. Let me get this seatbelt out of the way. This bolt here bolts into right here. That's your ground. And you got your airbag here. You also have this airbag clip right here. Undo this clip. The videos from LMR don't show that part. The instructions do. You have to have that unplugged in order to fish the harness through on both sides. One side or the other has to be fully unplugged so that there's enough room for the harnesses to wiggle. Other than that, definitely have a friend, but it fits.
Also, unhook the battery.
Super tight. Probably should unhook the battery because you are playing with airbags. But so far, so good. It does fit in super, super tight. Tight enough that those plastic pieces had to move out of the way for it to sit right. What do you think?
Turned out good. Had this thing knocked out tomorrow morning sometime.
Hey Joe, what are you doing?
Marking and stuff.
Marking and stuff.
Marking and stuff.
Drawing all over this pretty brand new Mustang.
Making my mark. Might even sign my initials.
Your boss will never know.
That's right.
He'll never know. All right, so what do we got going on there? Turn that fan off for just a second. All right. So we got these brackets here that have to come through the trunk, through the back seat. but here's looking into the car itself. They want you to mark all these holes, mark the feet, and then cut them out. We're gonna have to put the car up on the lift so that when we drill down into it, we don't snag any brake lines. Are those brake lines passenger side and driver side, Joe?
It's the one that runs across.
The one, okay, the one
and
that
it clips right. The brake lines clip right to this the inner structure under here, and so we basically just have to remove those clips so we don't accidentally drill into one of the lines. Should be a pretty simple process, just pop right out.
One thing that we have noticed, guys, is that all these cars are different. So we'll give you a full build list of everything that we used, all the tools that we used. The tools that LMR had to use and the tools that we've had to use so far are not the same. Also, as you see, all this seam sealer and everything does not get in the way of our car. The sound deadening doesn't get in the way of our car. So we have not had to do any of that trimming. If you look right here, that's the only trimming we've had to do so far, is that bit of seam sealer right at that bolt right there. So far it's not been too terrible. We'll keep on going, but as of right now, it's looking good, fitting well. It fits very snug, very tight. Definitely a two-man job. Okay, guys, so we did a little bit more adjusting and looking just to make sure that we were doing this right from what everything showed. So we went back, we watched the LMR video. They went about aligning the brackets up a little bit different, so we went ahead and tested it, and I think our brackets still fit pretty well. So let's flip this. All right, if you look, there's lining everything up the way that they said to. Draw the lines at the, well, let's do this side because it looks better. Draw the lines at the pinch weld, or at the seam welds, and make sure everything sits in there. Ours sits in there pretty close. So we're gonna go ahead and roll with it and see. So then at this point, what we're doing is we're lifting the car up, and we are going to then pop those loose, the brake lines loose. We'll show you that, and then we'll start going from there. Joey?
What's up?
Still feeling the same way about this cage?
It may be a little easier than I expected, to be honest.
So their video is showing what, 10 hours?
They said a full day with an assistant.
So depending on the work day, 6 to 10 hours. Depends on whose work schedule, what shop hour. I mean, some of you guys might say, what? We do 15-hour work days. So, I mean, then at that point, then they're saying the cage is going to be 15 hours. Definitely do it with a friend.
For sure.
Joey helped make this a lot easier. So,
fat guys don't fit in little spaces.
I'm really surprised he got in the car. I wish we had more room for cameras. We don't have the greatest camera equipment, so we can't just stick a bunch of GoPros everywhere and just call it a day. But Joey actually got in there and got fit pretty well. I have managed to stay outside the car and be the tool runner mostly, which is nice for a change. So we'll keep getting at this. It's really coming together really nice. I'm thinking putting the panels back in is going to be the hardest part.
Yeah.
Getting the rear seat delete marked up and put in there to where it doesn't have big gaping holes where we missed and adjusted and missed and adjusted. We're hoping, because it's not cheap, that we measure 15 times, cut once, and it falls straight through.
That's the plan.
Let's keep going. Okay, guys, there's the brake line they're talking about. On this particular car, it is actually up underneath the diff. So it is a tight fit. That's where the line is. That's where it's hiding at. On their video, it looked like it was on the back side.
Yeah, and we just looked at it wrong.
Yeah, we might have looked at it wrong, but it looks like, from the video, it looks like they've got like this kind of space back there, but it definitely is not on this side. So you want to pull that line down. We've got it loose. Joe, can you reach up there and touch it? So all you want is to make sure it's loose so that if you bump it with the drill bit, it does move. All the power wire and everything is lower than that, so you should be fine, and it's all on softer plastic. So All right, Joe. Hey, yo, mad scientist.
What up?
What you doing?
Seeing if I still have my job tomorrow after we drill holes in my boss's car.
Perfect. Remember, not all the holes are the same size.
So the outside ones are, the middle size is a quarter.
All right, guys, just so that you see that, we're using a step bit here. And are you sure about that?
Yeah.
The plates holes are different size, or show it's the other way around.
We'll go and look.
So Joey, who was right?
I was right.
So we didn't mess up your boss's car.
Did not, thank God.
Okay guys, so if you ever wanted to know what a punishment in hell is like, sit and do this kit. So basically, Joey's outside the car cutting and modifying a panel for the 15th time because they tell you to cut the U-shapes in the panels, in these panels right here. So you're cutting this panel out to fit around right here, but you're taking it in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And by about the 5th time, you're thinking, what can I do to make this easier? I got the answer. Nothing. You crawl in to the back of the seat and you just make it happen. So, we're in the car. Cage is looking awesome. But we're starting to go back together now. So we've got the C-pillars in, the rear deck cover back in, and it's back in on this side. So let's keep working. It's getting hot. Okay guys, so there's one little discrepancy that we found after we got these bolts all put in. These M8 bolts here are actually designed to hold the bracket on the bottom if you take these bolts out. So what you're actually supposed to do here, and we notice there is a discrepancy in the LMR video, but the washer goes on the floor, the M8 bolt goes down, and then that hole is so big so that it actually fits down over that nut like that is actually how you're supposed to do that. That way you can pull the bar out and the bracket not fall to the floor. So just a little discrepancy in there, but there's the back coming through there. The rear seat delete, the holes are, you know, they're in the right spot. They're a little off. LMR's video's got some grommets that we're going to search for. We don't know how they found or where they came from, but they made it look so much nicer. We are going back together with the car. And let's get some light inside here. It is looking really, really good. So we've got everything tightened back up. Now, all we've got to do is put the seats in. All right, Joe.
What up?
So, wow,
It's a lot of work.
so I don't know that 10 hours was necessarily, realistically that we worked on it probably 6 to 8.
I would say a full 8. We had to go run and grab stuff here and there. So we probably got 10 hours total.
Phone calls.
That's a set.
So, but as you guys know, I mean, when you do multiple days, this is now third day of working on it.
Correct.
You know, we had to do the family thing. We had, you know, trying to do all that. But, so, you know, once you stop and you try and get started again, you get slow moving into momentum and everything. So it took us about 8 hours with stopping the video. We did follow LMR's video to the T,
Yep.
except for where we realized that there was parts of their video that were incorrect. Another thing in their video, guys, on the rear seat delete, when you're doing it, it says to put that in there as you're tightening up the center hoop and tightening the back cage bars. But when you do that, guess what happens?
It makes it a pain in the ass to get the rear carpet in.
Yeah, you can't put the rear carpet
So
in.
I would leave it undone, unfastened,
In the car,
in the car,
unfastened.
and then put your rear carpet in, and then you can push the push pins back in place.
Those push pins, when you drill the hole that what they say, 1/2 inch hole?
I don't remember.
I don't-
We'll link it.
We'll link the video, but when you push the pins in for that pin right there and that pin right there, you drill a hole into the rear package tray to put a hole in it for that in the carpet. Those, when you get them in there, they're stuck. They're done.
They're good.
They did pop the panel back out. We tried to remove it to put the carpet in, but other than that, the cage looks great. The rear seat delete looks good. Both pieces are available at LMR's website. They are both Waston Racing, I believe.
Yep, Waston Racing.
Both Waston Racing. Even the seat delete, which the holes are already pre-done in the packaging, so all you got to do is cut the holes out for the rear seat delete. If you do get the roll bar, you can use it without it. That's our video on this. Stay tuned for some more. We'll keep doing some product reviews. As of right now, we like it.
Yeah.
Like the cage. It worked out great. So that's our tech tip. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next one.